Good morning. My name is Michael A. Rogers Sr., and I'm the owner of Michael Rogers Tax and Accounting Services, LLC, located at 618 Aberdeen Road in Hampton, Virginia. This morning, we have a special guest, Wayne Lynch, my brother from another mother. I've been knowing Wayne the majority of my life, over 50 years. We first moved to Hampton Thanksgiving Day, 1969. 1 or 2 years after that, I met Wayne and I met his entire family. His father was a local barber here in Hampton. And when I was 11 years old, he started cutting my hair. 5 years later, he was still cutting my hair. 10 years later, he was still cutting my hair. 20 years later, he was still cutting my hair. Right before I got married, the first time, I went to Mr. Lynch and he cut my hair and had me looking real good for my special day. But anyway, I met Wayne at the Boys Club, Citizens Boys Club on Kickertan Road here in Hampton. And fast forward, we played basketball against one another. I couldn't outshoot him, but I was giving him a few headaches every now and then. But anyway, we're here to talk about the tragic loss of his son, Donovan Lynch. And I'm going to introduce my special guest, my special brother, Wayne Lynch.
Thank you, Michael, for having me today. I think it's a great service that you're doing for the community by starting this podcast. Get people that normally don't have an opportunity to speak out, a chance to speak out. So I want to commend you on doing that. And
Thank you.
Looking forward to some other things you're doing in the future as well.
Okay.
As you said, you and I go way back.
Yes, we do.
Our families were close.
Yes.
I have 9 brothers and sisters. We all grew up in the same household here in Hampton. So we've been in the community for a long time, and so is your family with your mother and your brother and everyone that's related to us.
Yes.
Over the years, I've been working in my communities to improve things that need to be improved. I've always had it's in my DNA. My mother worked as a residential counselor at the Virginia School for the Deaf and Blind. So she was they called a residential mother back then.
Yes.
So working with people in the community has been our I guess, claim to fame. My dad, as you mentioned, was a barber. Not only a barber, he was a barber for 60 years. He's been cutting hair not only in Hampton, but also in North Carolina, where he's from, Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So that also has been a unifying, everybody can come to the barbershop to talk about issues going on in the community and also bring solutions.
Yes.
So we not only just talk about things. I pride myself as a social entrepreneur, which the terminology is that it's a person that goes into the communities to address issues that they see that can make them better. So you always want to be inclusive in the community. So that's what we've been doing for over the years.
Yes.
Fast forward a little bit, I graduated from Hampton High School, 81.
Go Crabbers.
Go Crabbers, class of 81. Played basketball 3 years in Hampton. I did a pretty good job, I think. I was a 3-year starter, played almost 100-some games. So. But that's also in my bloodline as well, as you know, from my brothers. I have 4 older brothers and 1 younger brother, and we all play basketball.
Absolutely.
And my sister played as well. And also, my mother played basketball. So.
That I did not know.
Yeah, she played basketball.
Okay.
Back when they only played half-court basketball.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's where the athletic gene comes from on that side. My dad was a baseball player as well. So.
Okay.
But, if you say the Lynch name in Hampton, it's synonymous with basketball.
This is correct.
So,
Yes.
out of college, out of high school, I went to college in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and played on the legendary Big House Gaines, one of the legendary coaches of the Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association, back then the CIAA, who also coached a guy by the name of Earl Monroe. So when Coach Gaines come to the gym to see you play, that's pretty special.
Pretty special.
So my senior year, he came to a practice one day and was recruiting myself, and also recruited my two teammates, was Ronald Anderson and Quincy Perry. We all was seniors, came in together, graduated together, and we all went to Winston-Salem State together on scholarship. So that was pretty special.
Yes.
I spent 2 pretty good years there, but I got a little homesick. And also, I wasn't playing as much as I wanted to either. So I decided to come back home, and I always had the opportunity to go to Hampton University and Norfolk State. So I chose to transfer to Norfolk State. And
Behold,
the
green and gold.
The green and gold. Under legendary coach Charles Christian, also a legend in the CIAA. So I remember when he called Coach Gaines on the phone to vouch for me, and Coach said I was a good guy. He would recommend it. So he picked me up, and it was pretty special doing that. Fast forward, played there a year. I didn't actually play a lot. I got injured at the wrong time when the tryouts were coming up, so I kind of got pushed back a little bit on the roster, and eventually I was didn't play that year. But what Coach Christian did for me, though, he gave me a work-study job. He let me keep my work-study job, yeah. And from keeping that work-study job, I was eventually able to pay my tuition and finish college.
Absolutely. That's a blessing.
So I graduated in class of 87 from Norfolk State University with a BS in mass communications. And the great thing about it also, I was fortunate enough to meet my wife there at Norfolk State, not as a student, but as an employee. She was working in financial aid, and I was working in student accounts. That student accounts was a sweet job, man, because that's where the money was at. So by working there, I was able to pay my bill and also take care of my living expenses,
yes,
which they actually provided for me. So it was great. I had no complaints about college. I went to college 6 years and didn't pay a dime. I had scholarships throughout the whole time, so everything was good. But came back home and started immediately coaching with Coach Blizzard, David Blizzard. Shout out to Coach Blizz Tools, my sponsor as well. And Coach took me on his wing and showed me the ropes. Also shout out to Coach Walter Brower, who coached me at Lindsay. Also tutored me and showed me the ropes. Coach White, another coach, a good coach around, Gordon White, also from Lindsay. A lot of these guys are still around, so I want to just shout them out when I get a chance.
Yes, yes.
Coach Macklin, I want to do something special for the coaches as well that kind of mentor me and talk. I'm a coach myself. I've been coaching 35, 40 years, so the DNA is there. So that's just a little bit about me personally right now, but like I said, I was married to my wife for 30 years. She passed away in 2018 from stomach cancer. Beautiful lady, beautiful woman, beautiful mother. I still love her to this day. And then in 2021, let me just back up a little. My son was a great student athlete. He was a Renaissance man, actually. He did a lot. Entrepreneurship. He was an entrepreneur. He owned 3 businesses that he started during the pandemic. He's always industrious, always helpful. He graduated with 2 degrees. Out of high school, he went to Norfolk Christian School, where he was an all-state football and basketball player. Captain of both teams as well his senior year. From there, he went to the City College of San Francisco. So that was pretty exciting. I'll just tell you a little bit about that. Donovan played basketball at 6'4", 230 pounds in high school. Donovan played basketball all the way up to his 10th grade year. He started playing football in the 10th grade. But at his size, he was a great athlete. He was a great leader, a great friend, confidant. Everybody went to Donovan when they had an issue. He was the fixer. He was the problem solver. So his opportunity to go to San Francisco was kind of unique. We were at an AAU basketball tournament. So I've been coaching AAU, some of the local guys in the area, and Donovan played on those teams. And our coach after the game, I think Donovan may have maybe 15 points, 10 rebounds. He's good for a double-double at least.
Yes.
Our coach came over to us after the game and said, I noticed your son has good footwork for his size, the way he plays, and he said, does he play football? And we paused for a moment, contemplated, and said he could play football. And he said the reason why he asked is he has a connection with the City College of San Francisco. We was like, whoa, California? I looked at Donovan and looked at me and was like, yeah, California. I was like, okay. I immediately told Donovan, we'll be here when you get back. So he went to California, San Francisco, California, in 2014 after graduating from high school, and immediately taken in by a beautiful family there in California. Actually, one of the players on the team, Donovan stayed with his family.
Okay.
A beautiful family called, the name was the Aikens family. And they came all the way from California when this tragedy happened to my son as well, to show support. But beautiful family, took him in. Everything was going great. He played 2 years at City College. In 2015, they won the National Junior College Championship.
Okay.
I normally had the ring on, man, but I left it tonight. But yeah, City College National Championship, 2015. So that was a big moment for him because we always, as an athlete, you're always chasing those championships.
Yes. And
he finally got in. And at the same time, I finally won my first championship coaching under Cape Henry Collegiate School in 2015 as well. We won the state championship. So we both had a ring at the same time.
2015 was a monumental year.
Yes, sir, monumental year. And then from there, he went to the University of Virginia at Wise, which is a subsidiary Division II from UVA.
Yeah.
And he went there for 2 years as well and played football and earned his second degree in sports management. So. Then in 2019, he came home, working, trying to find his way. We always had things to do in the community because, like I said, I'm a community organizer, event planner, I had my own foundation as well. We'll talk about that a little bit, but we were always working in the community, doing things. So Donovan came in, fit right in what we were doing. He's part of what we do anyway. And then the pandemic hit. At the time, I think he was working at Amazon warehouse. So when the pandemic hit, I was like, Donovan, come on home. Come on home. I think if I shut this down. And then during that time period, he opened up 3 LLCs himself.
Yes.
So he owned 3 businesses. One is called Think First, which is his security company. Armed security company. All right. My son was trained, licensed, and registered for his weapon, along with some of his classmates that played football with him in high school and college have joined in, and they formulated a security company.
Yes.
But they smart young men, they knew they had to be licensed, registered, and he did that, did the training, and did everything he was supposed to do. The second business is called Lead by Example. LBE, which is a management company, sports and music management. He has started that as well during the pandemic and has been successful with that. He has artists now out that have songs dedicated to him as well. And his third business was called Big Steppers. The reason why it's Big Steppers, my son wore 16 tennis shoes. So he fashioned a company after larger size shoes for people that had larger feet.
Yes.
So he fashioned his company called Big Steppers, which is a large size shoe company with vintage shoes they buy and sell and trade as well. So
I very well could have been a client of his because I myself wear size 14.
Right. And I went too. I wear 13. So the big stepper club, right?
Yes.
So that's what his creativity was like that, man. He was always innovative, on the cutting edge, looking for ways to develop and improve things around him. And then spring of March 2021, after the pandemic was over, the weather had got better. It was nice. So one spring night, they went out to the ocean front to have dinner with his friend. And while there, some gangbanging erupted. The only way you can say it is gangbanging erupted. And it was some victims, 8 other victims shot that night, but not killed, but shot. And another young lady was shot and killed, along with my son, who was shot and killed by the Virginia Beach Police, Officer Solomon Simmons.
Now, did the Virginia Police Department give justification of why they even shot your son?
They have not, to this day, told me what law he violated. Out of all the things that have been said, not once have they told me what law he violated.
So, in your mind, do you believe there were some improprieties performed by the Virginia Police Department?
Oh, we have proof that occurred. We've been through right now I'm in the settlement agreement talks.
Okay.
So we've had discovery, we've had depositions,
Mm-hmm.
we've had witness testimonies. The case has proceeded to this point where we are now with the settlement agreement.
Okay.
So things have been pointed out that were not done properly by the police officer himself or the department.
Now, is that police officer who shot and killed your son, is he still an active police officer for the Virginia Police Department?
Virginia Beach Police Department.
Virginia Beach Police Department.
He is currently working as a Virginia Beach police officer. He has been working since June 2022.
And how does that make you feel?
Oh, I'm outraged.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. I have been through a lot, which I can't really divulge everything right now, but I've been through a lot with not only the killing of my son, but the cover-up of the killing of my son. I have been disrespected, lied to, misrepresented, just been overall terribly treated, not only by the Virginia Beach Police Department, but also my former attorneys as well.
Now, are you at liberty to divulge your former attorneys' names?
Not at this point.
Okay.
I will be making I have court this week.
Yes.
May the 24th.
Okay.
At 10 a.m.
Yes.
In the Eastern District of Norfolk Court,
Okay.
Federal Court.
Now, the mayor of Virginia Beach, has he cooperated, Mayor Dyer, has he cooperated with you and your family in trying to understand the shortcomings of his police department as it relates to your son?
Let me just back up a little bit. When this first happened to Donovan, it took the mayor almost a week to come to my house to talk to me about the situation.
Now, is that proper protocol for the mayor to visit a parent of a victim? Is that proper protocol? Or is that just something that he would have deemed necessary and is the right thing to do? Because there was a loss, a tragic loss.
If I would have shot and killed somebody, they would have came to visit me.
Right, absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So that didn't occur till much later. But the overall backdrop with all this is corruption.
Okay.
Yeah, I can just put it in a nutshell, it's corruption. And now I'm gonna have an opportunity to right some wrongs.
Yes.
After this initial phase we're in there is a settlement, like I said.
So.
And then, but we're working on the terms of the settlement, not the monetary amount.
Yes.
Which is already in place, but the terms of the settlement agreement, which what I didn't agree with, it was some things in that that I wanted to, myself and my lawyer wanted to have rectified.
And the U.S. Justice Department is looking into this as we speak.
That was launched by Senator Scott.
Senator Bobby Scott.
Senator Bobby Scott.
Of the 95th District here in the state of Virginia.
That was initiated twice by Senator Scott. First when it occurred, when they wanted to send it to the state to investigate, state of Virginia to investigate.
Yes.
But we always ask for an independent investigation by the Department of Justice. That's always been the case, and it still is to this day.
Okay.
So we haven't heard anything from that, but they are looking at the case. I'm not a victim. They want us to think we're victims, but I'm not a victim. I'm an advocate.
Okay.
So what I'm getting ready to do now is, once this first phase of settlement is over, is going to be another phase of this, which is community organization.
Okay.
I'm not only doing this for my son, I'm doing this for other sons in Virginia Beach, in Hampton, in Newport News, and surrounding areas, all over the country, really.
And you are or should be commended for this endeavor. The blessing for you, you have been allowed to tell your story because you believe there has been a cover-up and you want some exposure, and unfortunately the city of Virginia Beach has not been transparent.
And that's been a pattern all over the country, transparency and accountability of law enforcement. Yeah, so it's been a lot of things happening within this tragedy that I think shouldn't happen, but it's human nature, I guess, for people to be dishonest. But dealing in law and facts, you can't be dishonest, you have to be honest.
Yes.
So a lot of things, not a lot of things, some things were withheld from me that I didn't know about previously, that I found out about it, which caused me to pause this settlement agreement. So, like I said, we'll be wrapping that up this week, and then we're on to the next phase of this tragedy.
Working with the IRS is tough. You want someone with experience. You want an expert. And Mike Rogers is your guy. He's been doing taxes for over 35 years. Donovan Wayne Lynch Foundation for Social and Economic Justice?
Yes, that's the foundation I've started in honor of my son's life and legacy. Like I said previously, we have been working in the communities to solve complex issues, also to improve the systems and structures that are already in place, but they're currently not working for us.
Okay.
So I've started, along with my brother and other family members, the foundation to, like I said, honor Donovan's life and legacy, to restore his reputation that they tried to destroy by saying he brandished a firearm, which he did not.
Right.
And if he did, he had a right to as an American citizen under the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
So the foundation is a way for me to continue Donovan's legacy. We have numerous programs that we offer to the community. In particular, we have youth-centered programs. Under the foundation, we've actually started a youth orchestra.
Really?
Yes, for kids ages 12 to 17.
Are you guys teaching them, or are they coming already with skill?
I have a conductor. Her name is Gina J. Payne. She's a renowned violinist, and also she's a public educator, music teacher for the past 40 years.
Nice.
So Gina is in charge of the orchestra. Currently, we have 40 students, 40 string sections. So the complete orchestra is 100 pieces. So I'm aiming to add more children to the event, to the orchestra, to complete 100 pieces.
Do you guys do any marketing or recruiting, rather, to get more children involved? Right.
It's primarily what we do. We go to each city in Hampton Roads and select kids to participate in the orchestra. Like I said, currently we have 40 piece string positions, and we're looking for percussions and woodwinds. So we want to get up to 100. Nice. But the foundation, the orchestra is used for fundraising purposes. We actually go out and do concerts in the public, in the Hampton Roads area, and then we fundraise as well. Because the money is used for scholarships for the students. So once they've graduated, once they graduate from the orchestra, then they will be offered a scholarship to attend college.
Wow. Do you guys have a broad range of scholarships, or is it just for your orchestra students, or how does that work as far as your scholarships are concerned?
Yes, we have a broad range of scholarships for gifted and talented student athletes, and also what they call at-risk youth, which I don't like using that term, because all youth are at risk. Right. All youth are at risk if they don't have the right resources and opportunities. So strong-willed youth. Because I've worked with youth in many capacities over the past 30 or 40 years. Coach, mentor, behavior specialist, counselor, court officer. So I use my hat as a turnstile.
Jack of all trades.
Yes, Renaissance man.
Okay, so how can we donate to the foundation? How can we participate or help you and continue his legacy as well?
Yes, that's a good question. I have a website. Is the dwlfoundation.org, www.dwlfoundation.org, and you'll see all the community programming that we have, that we offer. You also can make donations directly to the website. We have different levels. Like I said, Donovan was an outstanding student athlete, so we have different levels. Some of them based on sports, some based on knowledge. But you can go there and select the amount of money you want to donate. And it's a tax write-off, so you can write that off as well.
Right.
Yeah, and the foundation also is the community's pitch tank. It's a social entrepreneur endeavor where we actually awarding funding for entrepreneurs, startup entrepreneurs.
Wow.
Just like doing Shark Tank. Actually, the name was Community Shark Tank, but we had a little problem with that. But the community pitch tank is what we offer. You can come in and you can present your ideas, and then we'll help you along the way. If it's something that you don't lack, if you don't meet the criteria, we have someone that can help you meet the criteria.
Wow.
But if you meet the criteria, then you're eligible for funding. And it's not a loan, it's grant. It's money that we provide resources.
It doesn't have to be paid back. It's always good.
Exactly. And we offer that to the community by partnering with socially responsible businesses and corporations in the area. So we look specifically for those that want to help with the problems going on in our community, especially police violence and violence in general. So we partner with those organizations, businesses, and corporations to give a percentage back to the community.
I think that we need to get everyone involved with your foundation, because it seems like you guys are covering a broad range of social issues, violent issues, you're covering it all, trying to protect our youth, and I can definitely appreciate that.
Yeah. And so I have some things that I'm doing also legislatively with Donovan. It's called Donovan's Law, which is the Independent Law Enforcement Citizens Review Board, where actually it's oversight over the police departments.
Which we could definitely use that nationwide.
Which is needed nationwide, exactly. The initiative started, it's a law actually on the books in Virginia that you can actually start a law enforcement civilian review board, but they made it an option. But laws don't have options.
They don't.
Either a law or it's not. What they've done is offer options to the cities, and they have been reluctant to institute civilian review boards.
Mm-hmm.
That was on the table initially in Virginia Beach before this happened to my son. But what happened to my son propelled it forward to actually be unanimously passed by the city council to institute. And they are currently instituting it as we speak. But that is the cornerstone of police reform, is oversight. Mm-hmm. Jennifer Carroll Ford was the running for governor at the time. Jennifer Carroll Ford, she's an elected official. She was running for governor at the time. And she took up the cause for Donovan's Law, where she would have made it mandatory if she became governor. And the things are in place that localities with 100,000 people or more should have a oversight review board because that's the only thing left. So if you feel like you've been wronged by police on a traffic stop or anything like that, you can file a complaint and it will be looked into.
Right.
So that's very important. And I want to shout out to Cameron Beltran, who's a VIP LLC community organizer and activist. And one other person I have to shout out is my attorney, Jeff Reichert. Wow. He has been with me since day one when this tragedy occurred. He and I were business partners and great friends as well, but he actually investigated the case, what happened to Donovan. And we found some pretty compelling evidence that he was innocent, as we always knew.
Once your taxes done right, you gotta come see Mike.
My day begins at 9 o'clock when I enter the building. My administrative assistant is normally here, so.
My name is LaTanya. I help Mr. Rogers prepare the tax documents.
I don't know what we would do without her. Mr. Dale has been my client for about a little over 6 years. He's been a real estate investor for a little over 50 years.
He's as good to work with as anybody I've ever worked with.
Cornelius and Leah have been a client of mine a little over a year now. Between the two of them, they have 5 businesses.
Mike, he's real easy to talk to, down to earth. He doesn't make things complicated.
Real estate agents and entrepreneurs run their own business. Here at Mike Rogers Tax and Accounting Services, LLC, we all say, just relax and we'll do your tax.
Call Michael Rogers Tax and Accounting, 757-224-7001.